Welcome to the Aloha DIS High 5 Disney News for Monday, March 10th, 2025.
Please be sure to subscribe to Aloha DIS on YouTube for all the latest Disney content.
All right, Disney fans, strap in. We've got 5 big stories dropping today, and trust me, you don't want to miss this.
First up, let's talk Star Wars. Revenge of the Sith is hitting theaters again for its 20th anniversary.
April 25th, mark your calendars.
Yeah.
But here's the kicker. It's not just any re-release. We're talking 40X people, seats shaking, wind blowing. You'll practically BE in the lightsaber duels.
I'm curious to see if this does well. It could be a sign of things to come. Maybe Disney's testing the waters for bringing back more classic films with this immersive format. What do you think? Is this a one-time thing, or could 40X become the new standard for re-releases?
Ooh, good point. Now, shifting gears from a galaxy far, far away to a world a bit closer to home. Radiator Springs. Big news coming out of Cars Land.
Hold on tight because they're building a full-blown dirt track experience at Magic Kingdom, and from the sounds of it, they're not messing around.
No kidding. Yeah. Imagineers were out in Sedona, Arizona, scouting real off-road terrain in Polaris RZRs. Talk about dedication. They even brought in a motocross track building company to design the course. This is serious business.
And get this. The ride vehicles are going to be custom designed with sensors to make them react to the track like real off-roaders. That's taking immersive to a whole new level.
They're really blurring the lines between a ride and actual driving. You'll feel every bump and swerve as you race alongside Lightning McQueen. I can't wait to see what kind of personalities they give each vehicle.
Next up, we're setting sail for adventure on Disney's newest and biggest cruise ship yet, the Disney Adventure.
Get ready to set sail from Singapore. Yep, you heard that right. They're going global with this one, offering 3- and 4-night voyages that are all about the onboard experience. No ports of call, folks. The ship, ISS, the destination.
And with 7 themed lands, a Marvel roller coaster, an Iron Man styling studio, Toy Story water play areas. I mean, come on, who needs to go ashore with all that? It seems like they're really going all in on this floating world concept.
Singapore's a pretty strategic choice, though, right? It makes you wonder if Disney's trying to tap into a whole new market with this ship. Maybe they're banking on travelers who want that luxury Disney experience, but without the traditional cruise itinerary.
Now, calling all you Weeklies and AKs out there, Disney is giving us another dose of rotten-to-the-core fun with a 5th Descendants movie.
This time, the spotlight's on Red and Chloe, daughters of the Queen of Hearts and Cinderella. Seems like their time-traveling shenanigans in Descendants. The rise of Red have come back to bite them.
The past always has a way of catching up, doesn't it? The movie takes us back to Wonderland, so visually it's going to be a feast. Plus, we'll see familiar faces like Maddox Hatter and a whole new batch Descendants. Music and mayhem, here we come.
All right, last but definitely not least, we've got news that'll make all you Marvel fans out there shout, "I love you 3000. Robert Downey Jr. is back." Well, sort of.
He made a surprise appearance at SXSW and dropped a bombshell. He's working with Disney to create a Stark Labs ride for Disneyland. Get ready to step right into Tony Stark's world, folks.
Gyrokinetic pods, Stark tech. It's going to be mind-blowing. And RDJ hinted that this is just the start of his collaboration with Disney. Could this be the beginning of a whole Stark Industries takeover of the parks?
Now, what's really interesting to me is how RDJ is finding ways to keep Tony Stark's legacy alive even after his on-screen departure. It speaks volumes about his dedication to the character, and it's sure to get fans buzzing. What are your thoughts?
I think it's brilliant. It's like he's passing the torch to a new generation of innovators, inspiring them with the magic of Stark tech. You know what they say, "I love you 3000.
This Stark Labs ride, it's just another example of how Disney's constantly pushing the boundaries of immersive entertainment. It's going to be fascinating to see how they use technology to bring Tony Stark's world to life.
I can already picture kids and adults, let's be real, lining up for hours to ride this thing. It's going to be a game changer for Disneyland.
Speaking of game changers, let's loop back to that Revenge of the Sith re-release for a sec. This movie was huge when it came out, and seeing it in theaters again, especially with 40X, is going to be a whole new experience.
I know. Imagine feeling the force of those lightsaber clashes and the roar of the starfighters. What are some of your favorite moments from the film?
Oh man, where do I even begin? The opening space battle is always a thrill, and the lightsaber duel between Anakin and Obi-Wan is just epic. But for me, it's the emotional weight of Anakin's fall to the dark side that really gets me. You see the internal struggle, the choices he makes. It's powerful stuff.
Totally. And the performances are incredible. Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan is just perfect. He captures the character's wisdom and heartbreak so well. And Hayden Christensen brings this raw intensity to Anakin. You can practically feel the turmoil he's going through.
It's a story that's as relevant today as it was 20 years ago.
Oh.
The themes of hope, betrayal, the struggle between good and evil, they're timeless. It's a film that stays with you long after the credits roll.
Agreed. Now let's talk about that Cars Land dirt track. I mean, come on, a real dirt track in Disney World. That's every kid's, and let's be honest, every adult's dream come true.
They're really going all out on the authenticity, aren't they? Imagineers studying real off-road trails, a motocross company designing the course. It's next-level commitment.
It makes me wonder, is this a sign that Disney's focusing more on creating these hyper-realistic, almost extreme experiences in their parks? What do you think?
It's an interesting thought. Maybe they're recognizing that audiences are craving more intense, immersive experiences, something that really pushes the boundaries of what a theme park can offer.
And the custom-designed vehicles with sensors. Genius. They're not just building a track, they're creating a whole new type of ride experience where you really feel like you're part of the action.
All right, let's hop aboard the Disney Adventure and talk about this mega cruise ship. I mean, 6,000 passengers, that's a floating city.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're making the ship itself the destination with no ports of call is a bird move.
It's definitely a different approach to cruising. Do you think it's a gamble or will it pay off? I mean, not everyone's looking for a vacation where they never leave the ship.
It could go either way, honestly. Some people love the traditional port-hopping cruise experience, while others might be drawn to the idea of a totally immersive Disney World at sea. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
Plus, think about the logistics of keeping 6,000 people entertained on a ship for days on end. They must have some seriously impressive activities planned. What are you most excited about?
The Marvel roller coaster for sure. A superhero-themed coaster at sea. Sign me up. And the Iron Man styling studio sounds like a lot of fun. Imagine getting your hair styled like Tony Stark.
Don't forget about the Toy Story water play area. That's going to be a hit with the kids, and maybe some adults too. They've really thought of everything with this ship.
From Marvel to Pixar, they're covering all the bases. And the fact that it's home-ported in Singapore makes it even more appealing. It's a chance to experience a different culture, even if you are spending most of your time on the ship.
Okay, now let's dish about the Fifth Descendants movie. What do you think they'll cook up for Red and Chloe this time?
Well, it sounds like their time-traveling adventure in the last movie has created some serious ripples. I wouldn't be surprised if they have to face the consequences of their actions.
Good point. And the movie being set in Wonderland opens up so many possibilities. We can see some really wacky and imaginative scenes, plus we're getting new characters, which is always exciting.
It'll be interesting to see how they fit into the existing dynamic of the Descendants world. And let's not forget about the music. These movies always deliver some catchy tunes.
Absolutely. I can't wait to hear what they come up with this time. Now, let's talk about the elephant, or should I say the Iron Man, in the room. Robert Downey Jr. and that Stark Labs ride.
I'm still geeking out over this news. A ride designed by RDJ himself. It's like a dream come true for Marvel fans.
And the fact that he's hinting at more collaborations with Disney, the possibilities are endless. Could we see a whole Stark Industries land in the future?
Wouldn't that be incredible? Imagine walking through a fully realized Stark Tower, experiencing all the cutting-edge technology. It's a Marvel fan's paradise.
I'm already saving up for my park ticket. This is going to be huge.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, before we wrap up, I have to ask, of all the news we've discussed today, what's got you the most excited?
That's a tough one. I am a sucker for anything Star Wars, so that 40X re-release is definitely high on my list. But honestly, I'm equally intrigued by that Cars Land dirt track. The idea of experiencing a real off-road adventure in a Disney park is just too cool.
I'm right there with you. It's a toss-up between those two for me as well. It's a good time to be a Disney fan, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It really feels like Disney's pulling out all the stops this year, doesn't it? They're giving us nostalgia with the Star Wars re-release, pushing the boundaries of theme park experiences with that dirt track, and taking us to a whole new world with that Singapore cruise. It's exciting to see what they'll come up with next.
And with RDJ's involvement, who knows what kind of technological marvels they'll dream up. I'm picturing Iron Man suits you can actually fly in.
Now that would be a game changer. Okay, before we let our listeners go, I think it's time for a little thought experiment.
Hit me with it.
All right, imagine this. Disney takes all this amazing technology they're developing for their parks and rides, and they apply it to everyday life.
Yeah.
What kind of crazy cool Disney-fied gadgets could we see?
Ooh, I like where you're going with this. Okay, let's see. Self-driving cars, cars inspired by the Cars characters, maybe? Or how about a virtual assistant that looks and sounds like your favorite Disney sidekick, offering helpful tips and witty banter throughout the day?
Yes, and imagine if they could actually create those transporter beams from Star Trek. Commuting would be a breeze.
Talk about a magical commute. And hey, maybe they could even create those food replicators from Star Trek. No more grocery shopping.
Okay, now you're just making me hungry.
Yeah.
But seriously, the possibilities are endless when you think about how Disney's magic could be woven into our everyday lives. It's pretty mind-blowing.
It makes you wonder what kind of world we'll be living in, say, 20 years from now. Will we all be zipping around in flying cars and having virtual tea parties with Mickey Mouse? Only time will tell.
And one thing's for sure, with Disney at the helm, the future's looking pretty bright and probably full of pixie dust. So what are your final thoughts for our listeners today?
If you want more Disney content, please like, comment, and subscribe to Aloha DIS.
Mahalo for joining us.